Dear friends, welcome to this week's edition of the Inspired Parsha. This week we have an incredible privilege to read through Parshat Devorim. And like every Parsha in the Torah, there's so many beautiful, rich Torah ideas, especially in the Hasidic world. But I just want to focus on one pasuk, one verse. This is in Devorim, Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 10. It says, Hashem Elokeichem, hir be'eschem, God, your God, hir be'eschem, has multiplied you, v'hinachim lachem, and behold, you are this day, k'chochvei hashamayim larov, as the stars in the heavens. That's how multiplied you are. And of course, the question is obvious. It's not true. We're very small in number. What's the comparison to the stars in the sky? The Torah even calls us, Hatem ma'at mikol amim. You are the smallest in number from the nations of the world. Jews are always historically very low in numbers. So what does it mean to compare to the stars in the sky? The stars in the sky is almost infinite. It's such a vast amount. Why are we compared to the stars in the sky? So the great Rav Levi Yitzchak Brightest says something beautiful. He says that, of course, this is not meant to be taken as a literal quantity of people. It's really meant for quality. That the Jewish people are like the stars in the sky. Not our numbers, but our quality. How so? If you look at a star is during the daytime, you don't see it. It's always there, but you don't see it. Why? Because the sun, the light of the sun is blocking it out so much that you can't see it. When, of course, does the star shine? The star shines at nighttime. And the amazing thing about stars is that the darker the night is, the more the stars shine. Isn't that the story of the Jewish people? We've gone through so much as a people, but it has brought us to extraordinary heights, extraordinary levels. And it's incredible to see, it's miraculous to see. People that seem to be so beaten sometimes, yet have risen from the dead and have shined in their greatness and their holiness and doing chesed and their unity and their tzedakah and their kindness. Everyone, of course, remembers the months after October 7th, how unified we were, how we were all helping each other. Of course, unfortunately, when we're not going through a crisis, that fades. But we have it in us. Even when the sun is shining, even when there's a lot of brightness and light in the day, the star is still there. We just don't see it. That's the miracle of the Jewish people. And I always think about this even when it comes to the sand. Avram Avinu, Abraham, he also compared us to the sand. Actually, God told Abraham, you're going to be like the sand at the sea. I always thought maybe the comparison is the similar idea. A sand is just little minute particles. But when you put it to extreme heat, when you burn it, it becomes something much greater than it once was. It turns into glass. It turns into something much stronger, much more beautiful than it once was. That's the story of the Jewish people. The story of the Jewish people is that we rise up in the darkness. We become like the stars that shine in the sky. I want to give everyone a bracha to always remember this message. Right now we're going through the difficult time, which is the 3 weeks, the 9 days leading up to Tisha B'Av, the destruction of our temple. Always remember how much the Jew has shined during these difficult times. How much we are capable of shining. Wishing everyone that bracha to always carry this message, to remember how much you can shine even during the difficult times in our lives. Wishing everyone here a wonderful Shabbos Kodesh. Thank you so much for listening.